Indiana Jones. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the podcast in which we celebrate and discuss the film Raiders of the Lost Ark 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete Mummert.
And I'm Jerry Porter.
And today we're discussing minute 15, which begins with Indy being saved by the bell and ends with Indy trying to buy a plane ticket from Dan Aykroyd's butler with trinkets. Don't laugh, Jerry. You haven't even seen Trading Places. You don't get to laugh.
I saw like 10 minutes of it. It's some sleepover.
That's the 10 minutes you saw.
I wasn't allowed to watch our movies.
You got lucky with this one. This was almost an R movie.
Yeah. Vito's butt shot.
My first question for this minute is that I don't buy at all that Dr. Jones is going to be in his office on Thursday or Wednesday.
And
He
probably just got back from Peru or wherever he was, days ago. Like, oh, Dr. Jones, you're back. We have all this piled up homework and stuff. And then, he's back in class for a week or something. And now he's about to be sent off someplace else. I don't even know why he bothers.
I don't buy for a minute that there's a recess bell in college. Yeah, yay!
Speaking of yay, that guy, the guy we were talking about yesterday, the one guy in the class, like with the bow tie and the sweater vest. Yeah. He's in the front of the class and he's the last guy to leave, and I can only think that it's because he wants to make sure that Dr. Jones notices him put his apple on his desk.
But I like that he makes no eye contact whatsoever.
Here, Dr. Jones, I love you.
I think he's letting all the women leave first so he can get the view, you know what I'm saying?
He's going to place an apple. I don't know what that means.
He does. That guy, he places that apple
he does.
furiously on the desk.
And then Brody almost very surreptitiously, I'm gonna dust it. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna pocket it. He's like this sticky-fingered little pickpocket.
It seems like a theme in this movie.
This apple's mine now. Yeah, there's no apple you can possess which I cannot take away. And he should have burst into tears. Mark, it's not you two, for Christ's sake.
I love Brody picks up that broom.
Yeah.
Just touching everything.
Right when he says, he does this sort of wink. I'm sure everything you do for the museum conforms to the International Treaty for the Protection of Antiquities.
Yeah, like that time you demolished that temple.
Yeah,
that drives me nuts.
Which, by the way, is not a real treaty.
Oh, it's not?
There was apparently the first comprehensive international treaty for antiquities. It wasn't until 1970 with the UNESCO convention.
Oh, I totally believe that. You know what? I love when movies just boldly make up stuff. Like when they just flat out make up something that sounds like it's totally true, so you just kind of buy it.
Yeah.
Like some kind of thing that you should be able to look up and verify, but you don't because you just heard it in a movie, so you know it's probably true. I love that stuff.
Maybe this is Brody, though, making a joke. Like, maybe he's sort of like, not like there's an international treaty to stop this kind of thing.
Good thing there isn't. He'd be in prison by now.
Well, that's the whole thing. I think I'm like, so Brody's in it. First of all, you're like, oh, he has a British accent. So
yeah, he must be a good guy.
I think he's either, he's either smart or he's evil.
Yeah.
Or both, like Grand Moff Tarkin style evil.
Yeah. Or it could be a henchman.
And you're like, all right,
or a friendly gardener.
Both. A friendly gardener. And then you realize you're like, oh, he's pretty non-committal as to, we don't know what happens with all the stuff that you acquire. Right. But I'm sure it's all on the up and up, bro.
Sure.
So Brody confuses me a little bit, or the movie makes me confused about Brody, because according to the script, I think it's from the script, he's the curator of the National Museum in D.C., which I buy. And then in I think Last Crusade they reference that too, that he's the curator of a museum. And it makes sense here. He's talking about like getting stuff from Indy to put in the museum and stuff. But then I almost don't want to refer to this movie, but in that fourth movie, there's like a statue of him at the school, at the college. which makes it seem like he was like the
Maybe
dean
the
there or
dean,
something,
right.
that he worked at the school. So I'm kind of confused by Brody's place in the world. And why is he named after such an obvious character from Jaws? He has almost the exact same name as Martin Brody. That's weird to me.
I think it's, watching this, I think it's like one of those Elgin Marble things.
Huh?
He's British, he collects all the antiquities, and then he doesn't give them back, and he doesn't care. It's like, as long as the museum on the 3rd floor, room 111,
Yeah.
I don't care what Greece wants.
Greece had their turn.
And he's
My
obviously
time.
not super concerned with protecting these for posterity, like the way he's just kind of slapping that
Yeah.
room
The thing's
against his
probably
hand.
fragile. And he's probably going to eat that apple, too. That's not going to be around long. And for some reason, I don't know why I quote this all the time. It has nothing to do with any conversation I've ever had, but I constantly quote, I've got it all figured out. There's only one place you can sell it, Marrakech. I need $2,000.
I noticed that too. It goes to show you, like, there's Indy, and he's, driven or obsessed.
Yeah. Well, he's also angry. He's like mad at. He's like, Belloc. I can't let him get away with this.
But it's great because you're like, why would somebody in Marrakech buy the idol? I mean,
I'm glad you've got it figured out, Indy, because I don't get it.
yeah. Well, in that way, Marcus is like he's an enabler.
Yeah, he is.
If Indy's just like this greedy gold, first of all, up on the blackboard behind him, there's stories about a gold coffin. Yeah, I know.
Why don't you get that for me, Indy?
Why don't you go open that 3rd chamber?
Yeah. Who knows what's in there?
So.
Yeah, and Indy talks like a dealer too. He doesn't talk like an archaeologist. Like he's showing Marcus, hey, I've got these pieces. They're good pieces, Marcus. They're good pieces.
Yeah.
That's a good point. He's like a peddler.
Yeah.
He's kind of manic here. He's like, look, I got all this stuff, but I really need to get that other thing. Like, I wonder if is he more angry about Belloc getting it from him, or is he more angry that he doesn't have it? And do we want to see that adventure? Is that even an adventure? If he goes to Marrakech, is that like exciting at all, or is it like he finds the guy at some pawn shop who Belloc sold it to? He's like, I'll give you 500 quatlus for the idol. All right.
Yeah.
I just feel like he doesn't have any plans for fall break.
Right. He doesn't understand girls, so he doesn't have a girlfriend. He doesn't understand when they write "I love you" on their eyeballs that it means something and it might lead to something.
What do you think he talks about during office hours?
Wait, what?
What do you think he talks about during his office hours?
I don't know. Well,
Gold.
Michelson chapters 3 and 4, I guess.
I think he talks about gold.
Yeah. Ever tell you about the time I totally disturbed Chamber 3?
That
Well, he gives very
tipo.
specific. Yeah, he gives very specific instructions. Like, well, when the guy you hires gets impaled by a spike, just kind of nonchalantly bend over, pick up the stuff, pick up the grave goods, and make a wisecrack.
It is funny that there's not one mention to Marcus about like, oh my god, I saw a guy killed on a wall of spikes, and another dude got he tried to shoot me, but then he got arrows in his back. It's incredible. He's like, I had that idol in my hand.
Or hey, remember Forrestal?
Oh yeah, Forrestal says hey.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Turns out he didn't cash in. Well, he did.
Yeah, Ixnay on the Oristal phase promotion.
Yeah. Turns out you don't have to pay him for that last thing he got you. Yeah, why was he not going to be in his office on Wednesday? Like, what plans did he have? Maybe he does have a social life.
Or maybe he was going to go loot like an Indian mound in West Virginia.
Yeah, I got to go do some local looting. There's a Hazleton in Pennsylvania. I want to see if that Chamber 3 is undisturbed.
I feel he's probably going to go to like St. Thomas More and steal their chalice. They're straight up working chalice from Sunday noon mass.
He sneaks into the church. At like midnight, he sneaks into the church. He's like creeping along the pews.
Yeah, the janitor's like, hey, guy, well, we're closed.
Hey, Bernie. I'm just going to take it for overnight and I'll bring it back tomorrow. So let me do this. I need this.
There's some big story to Marcus. I had it in my hands, Marcus.
Yes, the police told me. I know.
Yeah.
I like that Marcus knows who Belloc is. Like
That's interesting.
He jumps to that.
I wonder if Marcus, every time like Indy goes somewhere to get, I'll be right back with that thing for your museum. He's like, maybe, maybe Belloc will get it. Maybe some French museum's gonna have some awesome.
It makes me wonder though, is Marcus also hired Belloc, because he doesn't seem at all concerned.
Yeah. I think that museum's gonna have it one way or the other.
Yeah. He's like, you don't need to go to Marrakech.
I'm on my way to Marrakech right now, as a matter of fact. Isn't that interesting? Got to make a connection there. Nothing you need to worry about. Well, all right. Is there anything else for minute 15?
Not for me.
This week has taken us from the jungles of South America to the sunny, hallowed halls of either New England or Sonoma, California, or whatever it was. But yeah, I feel like we're in a movie. This is cool.
Yeah. Yep.
We're in a different location now. This is exciting. So Pete, why don't you tell these nice people how they can get in touch with us?
Send us an email if you want. You can find us at indianajonesminute.com, and you can find us on Facebook. And you might also find us next week in a galaxy far, far away with a very special crossover guests.
We are crossing the Lucasfilm streams next week. We're very excited about it, and you should be too. So make sure you come back on Monday for minute 16 of Raiders of the Lost Ark on the Indiana Jones Minute.
They're good pieces, Marcus.
Worth at least the price of a ticket to America.
Pete, that guy with the bow tie, that's totally you. I went to college with